Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Mayor Dana Redd, and I'm pleased to have this press conference today, joined by a number of federal, state, and county officials as we update on the near approaching visit of Pope Francis to the Philadelphia area and certainly the Delaware Valley region. This afternoon, I'm joined by Camden County Freeholder Director Lou Cappelli, our City Council President Francisco Frank Moran, CEO of the DRPA and PATCO. He is our President, Mr. John Hanson, Camden County Police Department, Captain Al Handy, our Executive Director of the Parking Authority, along with representatives from Easy Philadelphia LLC, representatives from the Camden County Sheriff's Department, and also representatives from New Jersey Transit, among many other county, state, and federal agencies who are in attendance and all working a coordinated strategy to help make this transition and reception of our Pope a very smooth process indeed to this region. As everyone is aware, Pope Francis will be visiting the region, particularly on September the 26th and September the 27th, as a part of the World Meeting of Families. And just like many throughout the region, throughout the state, and the Delaware Valley area, we are anxious to receive Pope Francis and to hear his words of wisdom. Camden is honored to welcome Catholics from throughout the world, and our goal is to make this pilgrimage of thousands of people coming to see the Pope as easy and as enjoyable as possible. And so we join in partnership with Mayor Nutter and the city of Philadelphia. Our city is not only a gateway into Philadelphia, but truly a gateway to the Pope. This will be a joyous and historic occasion, and one that will cast a positive spotlight on this region, both nationally and internationally. The visit is a once-in-a-lifetime experience and unprecedented in terms of scope and scale. It is truly an international event, and as a result, there are expected to be significant impacts felt throughout the entire region, and we wanted to take this opportunity to update all that are interested. City officials and I have been working a very coordinated effort with the county, state, and federal agencies to plan for this event. The Camden County Police Department, the New Jersey State Police, and other local security agencies have been meeting on a regular basis with their federal counterparts for several months to ensure the safety and security of everyone attending the festivities. With the visit fast approaching, we are here today again to provide you with information and an update, and we hope you will find this information helpful, especially for those who may be traveling a distance to visit for the first time, to travel to Philadelphia to experience Pope Francis's public mass, and also to inform our Camden residents of what to expect. Today, as we outline our plans, we hope to provide many thoughtful and helpful tips, many that are common sense recommendations, and we intend to answer any questions that you may have at the end of our press conference. As with most large-scale events and other international festivities of this scale, we do expect to have traffic disruptions and other delays. Our first message, we ask that all residents and visitors be prepared well in advance of the visit. Please be patient and anticipate delays as a result of the scheduled detours, road closures, and you can expect possibly a high level of security as associated with the Pope's visit. For Camden residents, we ask that you limit travels unless necessary. Due to the volume of individuals who are anticipated to attend this historic and momentous occasion, again, we ask that, if possible, you limit travels on the days of September the 26th and September 27th. Residents should avoid restricted areas in the downtown and waterfront district, as these areas will be highly secured in anticipation of the visit. However, residents will have access to other parts of the city, and we recommend to our residents that they carry their identification if they plan on traveling outside of the city. You will need this upon your return. If a roadway is blocked as you attempt to return back into the city with your identification, you will not have any problem returning home. And you will hear Captain Handy talk a little bit more about that in his presentation. For our visitors, please plan ahead before attempting to travel. Again, I repeat, for our visitors, please plan ahead before attempting to travel. Camden will be restricting vehicular access, and we highly recommend that everyone take the mass transportation system that has been set up for this historic event. The Camden waterfront will be open for pre-registered parking of privately operated vehicles. Again, I repeat, the Camden waterfront will be open for pre-registered parking of privately operated vehicles. For those who park on the Camden waterfront, will have access to the closest lots to the Papal visit. They will have the options of either walking across the Ben Franklin Bridge, riding the PATCO train, or crossing over on the ferry river line, which is ADA compliant for disabled attendees. Click and Park, a nationally known company that has done large events such as the Super Bowl, has been designated as our online vendor. Parking is limited to approximately 8,000 parking spaces here through the pre-registration process, which will be discussed later during our press conference. There will be no overnight sleeping in vehicles, parking lots, parks, or camping. This is prohibited, and we will enforce this by our police personnel. Again, no overnight sleeping in vehicles, parks, parking lots, or camping. This will be prohibited and enforced by police personnel. Walking paths have been established for those who will be attending the events in Philadelphia. Access is limited to only those who have pre-registered for the events. For those who decide to walk, please be prepared to walk distances. Wear comfortable walking shoes, and please stay hydrated. And along the routes, we will have hydration stations, and we will have benches for our seniors that may need to take a rest along the route. Before traveling and walking distances, I highly encourage residents, visitors, and others to please know your physical limitations. That day is not the day to find out what your physical limitations may be. Finally, always be aware of your surroundings and report any suspicious activity to authorities that will be visible throughout the course of the visit. Again, we thank you for this opportunity to report out on the plans that Camden has underway to support Pope Francis's visit to this region. And at this time, I would like to call upon Freeholder Director for comments on behalf of the county and federal agencies to talk about the coordinated effort that has been underway. Freeholder Director.
Thank you. Are you introducing Frank or mine?
You'll take it. Okay.
Good afternoon, everybody. I first want to introduce the Deputy Director of the Camden County Board of Freeholders, Ed McDonald, who decided not to be part of this press conference, even though he's worked very hard and diligently on these efforts. I'd like to say this. The arrival of the Pope is a joyous occasion, or should be a joyous occasion for this region, and as many people as possible should participate. Unfortunately, some of the rollout of this event has discouraged people, caused some confusion and some angst amongst those who really want to go see the Pope. Our message here today is, if you want to see the Pope, a great place to start on that journey is right here in Camden City and Camden County. It will be very easy to access the Pope's visiting areas. As the mayor mentioned, the waterfront has been opened up for parking. PATCO has done a great job with the speed line. We have a ferry. So it should be a joyous occasion. Don't be discouraged from going if you want to go see the Pope. Don't let the rollout and confusion and angst discourage you. This is a great event for the region, and we want as many people as possible to participate. We, Camden County, have worked very well with the federal authorities, the Camden County Prosecutor's Office, the Sheriff's Department, our County Police Department, and the local city officials to make this as easy as possible for folks looking to start their journey here in New Jersey to go see the Pope. I just want to commend everybody who has worked on this effort. CamdenCounty.com, www.camdencounty.com. As of today, we'll have all the information you need on how to visit the Pope from the New Jersey side. And starting next week, we'll even have an interactive map that you can use online to get to see the Pope. So this is a great occasion. Please enjoy it. Thank you. And with that, I'll introduce the Council President, Frank Moran.
Thank you, Director. Good afternoon. On behalf of City Council, it's certainly an honor for me to be standing here. It's just to reiterate, once again, individuals should plan ahead and make common sense decisions. Expect disruptions and ask that all residents, businesses, and visitors be well prepared in advance. Anticipate delays as a result of scheduled detours, road closures, and expect high levels of security. For local residents, we are prepared. Our police department is in full force, and you will be protected during this time. Normal policing will continue to take place. There will be restricted access along select roadways and in the downtown area. We highly recommend taking mass transportation. We can't emphasize that more. It's available for you. Take advantage. It'll be the easiest way to get to Philadelphia. And we also encourage residents and visitors alike to share in this extraordinary occasion. This is a historical visit, and we're honored to be in participation. And we will, as a governing body, continue to message in the coming days to our residents the road closures, and if you don't need to travel outside of your common area, you shouldn't. So with that, I thank you once again for being here, and with that in mind, I will call up the Chief Executive Officer of DRPA and President of PATCO, John Hanson. John.
Thank you. Good afternoon. On behalf of the staff of the Delaware River Port Authority and PATCO, we are honored to be participating in this joyous event for the region and grateful for the work with our partners in the County of Camden, the City of Camden, State of New Jersey, City of Philadelphia, State of Pennsylvania, and all the other agencies that have been involved. Most of what I'm going to tell you today has already been released. The Benjamin Franklin Bridge will be closed. It's going to close at 10 p.m. on Friday evening, and it will be closed completely from 10 p.m. on Friday evening until 6 o'clock Saturday morning so that we can get the bridge in condition to accommodate pedestrians safely. 6 a.m. on Saturday morning, the bridge will be open until early on Monday morning for pedestrians. Bicycles will be permitted on the bridge, but they'll have to be walked. We've released both for PATCO and the bridge the prohibited items, and it is in alignment with the Secret Service list of prohibited items. The only difference is that we're allowing bikes, they'll be walked, and strollers will be permitted on the bridge, and on the PATCO line, they'll need to be folded up on the PATCO line, however. PATCO, we have 4 stations open in New Jersey. It's going to be Lindenwold, Woodcrest, Ferry Avenue, and Broadway. Those stations were selected for several reasons. They are all ADA compliant. Lindenwold, Ferry Avenue, and Woodcrest have our biggest parking areas, and at the Broadway station, we'll be receiving the cars that park here, New Jersey Transit buses, the River Line, and any other residents or people who come to that station. PATCO has a capacity to move approximately 10,000 people per hour. Right now, each station is set up to be able to move about 2,800 people per hour. So we expect lines. We expect to be able to handle a little over 100,000 people in a 10-hour period, and we will do our best to accommodate crowds at any given station. We'll do our best to be flexible and move trains around if possible. But that flat level of flexibility only goes so far. So there will be some lines, most likely, particularly early. And I recommend getting there early if you want to make sure that you get to this joyous event. The one new piece of information that I have to release today is we will have people selling tickets in the station on Saturday and Sunday morning. Right? Online ticket sales have been shut off, and that's largely due to fulfillment issues. We want to make sure that people are able to get their tickets. But in order to ensure that the maximum number of people who want to go can go, we will have people in the stations selling tickets, and the vending machines will have tickets, so you'll be able to get tickets in those two ways. Thank you.
Thank you, John. At this time, I'd like to call up to the podium Captain Al Handy to update on the traffic patterns and the walking paths. Thank you so much, Captain Handy, for your leadership on this issue.
Thank you, Mayor. Captain Al Handy, Camden County Police Department. Safety and security, as well as the efficient movement of pedestrian traffic so they can enjoy the event, is a priority for all of us. We've been working with many departments and agencies at local, state, and federal level for the planning and coordination of the event and the impact on the region. Significant number of personnel, police officers, security, and others are assigned and are going to play an essential role in the event. With registered parking at the Camden waterfront and visitors arriving through mass transit at the Walter Rand Transportation Center, we established safe corridors for those individuals to travel while traveling through downtown Camden. Those electing to walk over the bridge to get to the event will have a nice, safe, and secure environment with which to travel. That route is essentially Delaware Avenue, Cooper Street, Broadway, and North 7th Street. Amenities, security, all be provided in and around these corridors, including rest areas, benches, EMS stations, hydration, understanding that people may need to be hydrated or stop for a moment if they do take the long trek across. Porta potties and other amenities also will be available. The closing of the bridge, as you've heard, obviously will impact the region, and with that we'll have major road closures on I-676 northbound into the city and Admiral Wilson Boulevard, Route 30 westbound into the city. There'll also be other local road closures in and around the downtown area to execute the operation as far as the reception of parking and visitors into the Walter Rand Transportation Center. And that is also, at this point, we'd like to call up for some additional comments.
Thank you, Captain Handy. At this time, we'll call up for the additional comments, Easy Philadelphia representative, to talk about the pre-registration process.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. My name is Bernard Craighead. I'm a partner with Easy Philadelphia. And over the last 30 years, my partners and I have done major events, Super Bowls, inaugurations, Olympics on 4 continents. And I must say that rarely have we seen the level of cooperation amongst elected officials and agencies as we've experienced here in Camden. You're all to be commended for that. Also, we find Camden to be rather unique because of its proximity to the papal venues. It is close, it is clean, it is so secure, it is indeed a gateway to the Pope. And so what we have done is we have erected a website, gatewaytothepope.com, which is viewable right now on all your mobile devices and on the internet. So people who go to this website will be able to access the parking permit process executed by Click and Park. A word about Click and Park. They are nationally known parking vendors. They have done the last Super Bowls for the last number of years. They do major events. They're also very adept at marketing. They have extensive email and Twitter accounts that will help us sell the 8,000 spaces that we are looking to vend. So when a person goes to this website, they will see a very easy page to access that will ask them if you want to buy a permit, click here. The person will input their information about their vehicle, their name. Certain security measures have been built into this so that we will know that who's driving the car, what color the car is, what the license plate is, and that way we will know who's coming in the lot, and that enhances the security. This is what a permit looks like. It is a one-page printable piece of paper that is carried by the driver in the car and shown at the various access points to get into the parking lot. Once in the parking lot, people have a choice. It's park and walk, park and ride on PATCO, or park and sail on the FerryLink ferry. These three options for crossing the bridge are really quite unusual for a place so close to the venues. As we've heard from PATCO, there will be tickets available to be sold in stations the day of. People who want to ride the ferry, however, will have to buy their tickets ahead of time, and all of this is explained on the Gateway to the Pope website. There are questions and answers on the Gateway to the Pope website, and we are continually refining this as we go along. And it is our hope that the 8,000 spaces will bring maybe as many as 25,000 visitors to the Camden area, and with comfort and ease, they'll be able to cross the river and be with Pope Francis while he is in the area. Thank you. Craighead, C-R-A-I-G-H-E-A-D, Bernard Craighead. Thank you.
Thank you, Bernard. So that's our update for this afternoon. I'll take a few press questions and direct them to the appropriate authority. Yes, sir.
Mayor, it's no secret that Camden is in the midst of a bit of a renaissance, or rebirth, as it were, and obviously security and perception of security is important. Could you talk a little bit about, I know Captain Handy, I spoke to you a couple of days ago on the phone, the efforts that are going to be made in terms of manpower, floodlights, and so forth to this gateway area for people to walk. People may feel concerned, as in any major city, walking, especially at night. How safe will people be, and how much of a concern is this for you?
I can tell you that our Camden County Police Department will ensure that Camden is safe. And again, as you probably are aware, Camden has made tremendous strides in reducing violent crime in the city of Camden. But to go in more specifics about the personnel, all in law enforcement agencies that will be working along with our Camden County Police Department, I will ask Captain Handy just to respond to that.
Thank you. Well, with regard to personnel, obviously it's an all-hands-on-deck approach, so to speak, for the Camden County Police Department and many other agencies involved as well. Significant numbers of personnel from many law enforcement agencies, security agencies will all play an essential role. As far as security for the safe corridors, if you will, obviously traffic control posts, so visible police officers, and other security walking beats will also be visible to everyone. So we're very confident that everyone will be safe, and also everyone will feel safe while they're traveling in the downtown Camden area to the event.
Do you have a sense of how many officers, how many floodlights?
Details on exact numbers of officers not available at this time. So.
Mayor, originally the parking at the waterfront was reserved for registered buses through Go Brown. What changed?
So the buses were originally intended, 1,500 buses to park on the Camden parking lots. Unfortunately, that particular contract was canceled by the World Meeting of Families. However, our team quickly came together in support of the Pope's visit to welcome personal operated vehicles. And we were in the process of contracting with an entity with a proven track record to operate the registration process and to ensure that that security piece ties into what the law enforcement agencies have planned for the region. So again, this is a historic occasion for Philadelphia and this region, and we want to make sure that we're doing our part to make travel as easy as possible for the pilgrimage.
Mayor, the cost of parking on the waterfront?
Do you want to?
Tree falls in the woods, we don't hear.
Can sign, maybe. A permit is $30, and there's taxes that are put on top of that. But it's $30 per vehicle per day.
Per day, and then taxes take it to about 4118, something like that?
41, 42, somewhere in there, yes.
And if I might add, if I'm not mistaken, is our standard rate for parking even on a concert. So we have not inflated the parking rates if you wish to experience a post-visit and would like to park on the Camden parking lots.
30 some
Follow-up
days ago,
question.
when they said there would only be buses there would be no cars. Part of the reason for shutting down the roadways was so they could get buses in, and get them in. Now that you're not going to have buses, why not open some of the roadways so people have a little easier time to get into Camden?
So I don't know if you want to take that, Captain Handy.
Well, as you've heard, mass transit is still widely available and is also one of the most efficient methods to get to the event. We're opening up the Camden waterfront parking to make that available, but there are still plenty of opportunities, and it makes little sense for those to try to come and paralyze Camden streets and drive past empty PATCO stations and Riverlight stations in the process. So there's.
You're opening up 8,500 parking places. I presume you'd like to fill them. And
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, that's our intention.
More roads open and less roads.
Oh, absolutely. Yes, we have ingress route plans all established for that. Close coordination through the vendor to communicate those routes that we want people parking on the waterfront to take, to move them in as efficiently as possible.
So there'd be no advantage, you're saying, of opening up any of the closed roads? In other words, you
Oh,
wouldn't move any more cars more quickly?
That's all factored in, and that's all factored in through those control points to move those placarded and pre-registered vehicles all through those efficiently.
So Chief, I can imagine if the Admiral Boulevard is closed, people who have pre-registered their cars will have those sheets that Bernard said. Will there be officers there individually checking each
Not
sheet?
particularly at Admiral Wilson. That's not the preferred route that we want them to take, and that's all being communicated directly to the ticket holders as to how we would like for them to approach the city and to vet them into those parking lots as efficiently as possible.
So what route might they?
676.
Is there a time the lots will close at night? 2 a.m.
The lots are scheduled to close at 2 a.m. The next morning, I assume, yes. So yes, and that'll give us time to set up and prepare for the next day when they open at 6 a.m. in the morning.
Yes.
I apologize for total ignorance. We already had the predetermined PATCO stations. Before, I thought we couldn't park here and then hop PATCO and ride. Can we do that now?
You can now park personal vehicles here through a pre-registration process in Camden and then ride PATCO.
And so is there a stop right here that they can hop right on? That was open or was not open? Was it always open?
Yeah, the Broadway station is open for PATCO. That's, as we talked about 2,800 an hour. We can move, perhaps a little more if it gets busy. PATCO will start to run about 6 o'clock in the morning. We'll turn over late in the afternoon and come back the other way. PATCO will be closed between roughly 3 a.m. and 6 a.m. Saturday into Sunday and Sunday into Monday.
Forgive my ignorance, but all these PATCO stations go exactly where into Philadelphia?
9th and 10th.
9th and 10th.
And again, that's ADA compliant.
How close is Broadway to the parking lot?
It's coming right off the river, maybe 4 blocks, but depending upon where you park, you could be going 8 or 9 blocks from a parking spot to the Broadway station.
How many PATCO passes have you guys sold at this point?
About 13,000 we've sold for the Papal visit. There are roughly 20,000 active Easy Pass passes that could be used as well. And again, in order to make sure that everybody who wants to be able to get a pass can get a pass, we're announcing today that we'll have people in the stations both on Saturday and Sunday for as long as there is demand to sell the passes.
You guys aren't selling online anymore, is that correct?
We're not selling online simply because we're worried that if we take orders now, people may not get their passes until after the event.
You've sold about, if I understand, about 20% of your universe of special passes, right? 13,000.
Yeah, we had about 75,000 available right
Are
now.
you surprised at that number? Does that seem lower than you had anticipated? The freeholder has spoken about being discouraged. How do you take that?
We're not really surprised. I heard at a press conference in Philly somebody say, nobody's RSVPing. And so we designed the PATCO schedule to move the maximum number of passengers based on lessons that we've learned. And so we're going to be running express trains out of each one of those stations, so they're not stopping along the line. It'll run from Woodcrest right into 9th and 10th, from Ferry right into 9th and 10th, so that we don't have people at the back of the line clogging up the front of the line. We weren't sure what to expect. We've been prepared to deal with this. Whatever happens, we've been meeting regularly, both internally and with all of our partners. And what I would say is, we want people to participate in the event, and we want to play whatever role is best for us to play.
Well, given the metrics of all the different reservations here and across the river, and I can put this out to anybody here, do you think people are just waiting until the last minute to decide? I mean, because 20% seems, and you're not alone in that. I mean, if you go over to the other various passes and metrics and looking at hotel reservations, this does not look like it's the kind of numbers. 30 days ago, they were talking about maximum numbers. Now,
well, and I think that's right, but we prepare for worst case scenarios, right, for the biggest crowds. And so I heard estimates anywhere from under 1 million to 4 million people thrown around in the last few months. And so you have to prepare for the biggest number, and that's what we've prepared for, but we've never really known for sure what we were going to see. So I'm not surprised, I'm not disappointed. I think that if anything, this provides an opportunity for people who've been thinking about it to still make a decision and participate in the event.
Mayor, are you concerned, we're trying to publicize that people need to get parking passes in advance, but not everybody pays attention. What's going to happen if people show up, we want to see the Pope. They don't have a parking pass, they're driving in, they're going to show up, and is it going to cause a parking
So I can
disaster?
tell you that we have made a concerted effort to publicize the vehicle pre-registration process, and one of the reasons for today's press conference, again, adjusting to new dynamics as a result of the Pope's visit. And so our vendor will be marketing, quite frankly, along the region. So not just in the state of New Jersey, but also in states like Maryland and Delaware and other places, to invite Catholics from throughout this region to come through Camden, the gateway to the Pope, by way of this pre-registration and access to the parking lots which we're making available. So I think that's the strategy that we're taking. As far as those that are not pre-registered, we will follow the normal protocols. And I don't know if Bernard wants to comment on that, but they have to pre-register their vehicle. So again, we want to ensure the safety of this area and the safety plan that has been put in place.
Maybe the question should be to Captain Andy, because what I'm asking is, what's going to happen if people come in, do you have a permit? No. Okay, where do I go? What do I do? All of a sudden you got cars clogging.
Right. Again, I think there's been a lot of media attention. There's been a lot of information put out there as to how efficient and methods to get to the event. For those that perhaps have not paid attention or ignored that and do wake up without any pre-planning as to how they're going to get to the event, right now, yeah, we are preparing for contingencies for that exact scenario, and well, it depends. It depends, obviously, if we have parking available. Number one, so we're kind of a little early in that process yet, but we are preparing with the vendor and preparing contingencies for that exact scenario.
but would you be willing to turn people away? I mean, if they drive in here and they didn't pre-register, you tell them, go back to Cherry Hill or wherever?
Yeah, if we're at capacity is going to be one of the determining factors on that.
I'm sorry?
If we're at capacity, will be one of the.
But I mean, the whole idea, I understand, registration has some security element to it.
Right.
Somebody hasn't registered, they're driving in.
Right.
They don't have the pass. They still want to go see the Pope on that
Right.
Saturday.
What
You're
we
going to turn them away?
No, what we plan on doing is giving them information, okay, where the PATCO stations, which are all very close by, the Riverline stations, which are all very close by, and give them other options that are still open and available to them to get to the event as
But
quickly
you'll
as
turn them
possible.
away from Camden Water.
Possibly, yes. If, depending on, again, it's a little too early to tell, but possibly we would have to turn them either to Ferry Station, Lindenwood Station, Woodcrest Station, someplace like that, yes.
But I mean, possibly means possibly you won't, you'll just say, wait,
Well, I mean, we
I'm
can
just
have
trying to figure
semantics
this
and we can
out.
go back and forth, right? But we're not. So what we want to emphasize today is that we now have a pre-registration process that is set up through the website that's been established. We want you to get that message out, if you will. Again, this is about experiencing a historic moment for this region, and we will make adjustments as new developments are part of our discussion. And as those adjustments and new developments take place, we will be sure to message out with the press so that you have the most up-to-date and accurate information. And I also want to emphasize that not only is Camden ready to support the Pope's visit, but the state of New Jersey has been a strong partner with us. I can tell you that I've been in conversations with the Lieutenant Governor, and we all want to see this go well. So thank you so much for joining us, and we look forward to further updates. Thank you so much.